everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Sacred Union Energy Update. Quick announcements first, and don't miss these because there's a lot to go over really quick. All right, so daily energy draws, they will be back. I have not given up on them again. I just needed to take a day or two to relax. I had intended on recording them earlier, but then I got extremely busy, and today I just couldn't. And isn't that just par for the course for this Ascension journey? I'm learning just to go with the flow as much as I can plan. I'm learning just to go with the flow of the energy, especially as the energy is shifting. Every time I sat down to do the dailies today, I was called to rest or to just pull back. So I'm actually a little bit surprised I'm even doing the Sacred Union Energy Update. But I really feel called to wait for the daily. So they will be back, hopefully tomorrow, if my energy is feeling better and clearer. So I'm taking the rest of the day just to kind of relax and rest. I did have a great weekend. It was one of the first weekends in a long time that I've actually allowed myself to just have fun and relax. And if you guys saw my Instagram, you saw that we had a terrific hockey game. It was a beautiful charity event at the hockey game. And it just, it just raised my spirits so much. And like I said, I'm usually just work, mission, service. And that was a beautiful just way to just be out in the world for myself. It's very easy, especially for me, to just, sit in my sanctuary and do my readings and connect that way. But more and more, it's exploring the world and getting out in the world and just being in the energy of love, embodying the energy of love in every given moment and connecting with other people. And it just felt really good to be out and doing something just so fun and joyful that was also so generous and charitable. And it just really made me believe in humanity again. Not that I ever really lost that, but when you're doing this energy work, the collective energy can really affect you. It can get very heavy. And so it felt really good just to be back in a natural state of just embodiment. And I think that's where we're all moving to. 2022 really is the energy of embodiment, embodying everything that we've learned on this journey, our self-mastery, understanding ourselves, our self-empowerment, our sovereignty, and especially love for ourselves and love for others. Really learning how to embody and anchoring in that unity consciousness. We've been channeling that for a couple of months now. And it's easy to do that when you're kind of holed up in your sanctuary, in your house or your room or, your workspace. But that's what it's all about. It's about getting out into the world and living a love-filled life and allowing the love that fills your life, your heart, to expand out into the world. And I was seeing that firsthand this weekend at the hockey game with just the love that people were showing to each other and the charity and the generosity that was being expressed. So it was beautiful. So check out my Instagram or my Facebook. I think I posted it both places for the video, and I wrote a little essay about that as well. So check that out. Okay, so dailies will be back. I'm still kind of resting, so they will be back. Patreon subscribers, for those who are subscribed at the Ascension Connections tier, which is the highest tier, we are having a live stream message poll on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be posting this on my social media pages as well tomorrow as a reminder. So those who are at the Ascension Connections tier, this is for you guys. You'll have access to a private link for a private message poll. You've seen this on my YouTube videos. This is where I have all of my message decks and even my tarot deck, and I pull messages for you. Now, there are a couple of you that are subscribed at that tier now, so we'll be a very small group. So I will just keep going for an hour. I'll pull as many messages. I might even do some channeling for you guys, so it'll be kind of like a personalized group reading. So if you'd like to subscribe at the Ascension Connections tier, that helps to support my work, which helps to support your journeys. So thank you guys for that. You will also at that tier have access to all of the pick-a-piles, that this reading is for you, specific scenario readings, as well as the written channelings that I do each month, as well as all of the past readings, all of the pick-a-piles, exclusive readings, romance readings, extended readings, etc. that we've done in the past. But going forward, we're doing pick-a piles. We're doing this reading is for you for the middle tier. And then Ascension Connections has access to all of it, including any bonus readings that I do, I'll be putting under the Ascension Connections tier. So it is a good value for everything that you are receiving. It helps to support my work that I'm doing because I do a ton of free collective work. I recognize that for myself, start to recognize my value, and I appreciate you guys who are supporting me in that way. And my Patreon is a way that I can continue to give back to you while you're helping to support me. So I really appreciate that energy exchange. Okay, so that is going to be happening this Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you are not able to attend and you are an Ascension Connections tier subscriber, then let me know, and let me know what message decks you would like me to use, or send me a private email, and I will be happy to pull some messages for you on the live stream and see what comes through. So we'll work it out that way. Even if you are not able to attend, you're still able to attend and participate. Okay, so let's get into this. Whew, man, I am seeing and feeling so much transformation. If you guys watched my Instagram yesterday, you saw that I did a quick week ahead energy poll. And it was the Six of Cups, then the Three of Cups, then the Two of Cups. Then it was your manifestations are taking place and it's always darkest before the dawn. If this is not evidence of what we are feeling, what we have been channeling, what has been coming through in the readings, in the previous readings, I mean, this energy is all about transformation. What I was getting is this is twofold. It is a message for you individually of your growth, that you are reuniting with your lost or forgotten fragments within yourself, abandoned aspects of yourself. You're reuniting with yourself in many ways. This is your own inner union. But if you're in sacred partnership or with a twin flame connection or whatever it is that you want to call it, what's happening is that is grounding. Your own inner union is actually helping to ground the energy in physical partnership with another, because you are doing this ascension journey. Who I channel for are those who are on the sacred union path to ascension. Now, this is your own inner union, your own sacred path. But for the majority of my collective, it doesn't have to be, for the majority of my collective, because this is the journey that I find myself on and I channel through my own experience, what you're doing is you are growing, expanding in partnership with another. Somebody is a catalyst for your growth. Your relationship with another is helping you to grow. That is what the ascension journey is all about. It is about growth. It is about expansion. It is about your own spiritual evolution. And that is what is happening with these sacred partnerships, where you are helping each other to grow. You are helping each other to ascend. And that is anchoring in the physical partnership within your physical experience. I am going to have either this week or next week, I am going to have a special reading just about twin flames. I had intended to do this back in the summer, but then shit hit the fan and everything changed and turned around for me. So they're bringing that energy back to me, where we are reclaiming the title of twin flames. Now, this is I still use divine counterparts. I still use the term sacred partners, because I do believe that the word twin flames has been so misconstrued, convoluted, hijacked, whatever word you want to use it. There's a lot of toxicity within the twin flame community. There's a lot of misunderstanding about what twin flames actually are. And I've actually experienced that in my personal life, where a lot of people do not really understand, even those who are on the ascension journey, do not really understand what twin flames are all about. That they think that it's about a relationship. They think that it's about a toxicity, and it's not about toxicity. There could be toxicity between you guys, but that is not a twin flame connection. Now, remember, it is the label. Do not attach to the label. It is the energy. It is the energy. And so you can apply any label. That's why I choose sacred partners, divine counterparts, because it just, for me, it shows the depth and the level of depth within a connection. And what you two really mean to each other, and how you're helping to evolve one another, how you're helping to expand and grow one another. That's what relationships are all about. Relationships, no matter what relationship it is, no matter what label you apply to it, whether it's family, friends, coworkers, whether it is a romantic connection, No matter what kind of connection it is, even those that we call karmic, that have a bad rap. Karmic connections have a bad rap. There can be karmic soulmates where you're just coming together in a beautiful kindred kind of way to teach each other, and then you kind of fade away from each other's lives because the lesson has been learned, the experience has been had. They can be beautiful connections as well. Karma itself is just an energy. Karma is just the energy of cause and effect. It is the what goes around comes around energy, for lack of a better phrase. It is something that is meant to teach us, something that we're meant to learn from. So even karmic relationships can be beautiful or are beautiful. It's just about perspective. It's just about how you look at it. And so we're not going to attach to the labels. We use the labels to help us understand and differentiate between the different connections that we're feeling, but it's all one. It's all love. It's all based in the unity consciousness. We're all part of this same global collective. We're all in this together. We are really, truly all part of this unifying force field because we're all coming from God. We're all stemming from God's source energy. So we're all connected. So don't get caught up in separation, especially when it comes to placing labels on it. Just allow yourself to feel into the connection and see what it means to you. So we are going to go into it a little bit because I do feel like that's coming back around again to be kind of cleared. So we are going to go into that over on Susan on Ascension Connection. So make sure that you're subscribed over there as well. The link is in the description box. Today we are going to be talking about sacred partners, divine counterparts, twin flames. Whatever it is that you want to call it, do not attach to the label. We're going to be finding out what's going on. But again, I don't think I finished my thought here. Every relationship is just a mirror for ourselves. It's just showing us ourselves, showing us where separation still exists within us. Every single connection that we have is showing us separation so that we can come into unity, so that we can heal the illusion of separation. Even family members, friends, co-workers, anytime that we are triggered, they're showing us an aspect of ourselves. So don't look at somebody else as outside of yourself, especially, friends, family, if they're triggering you. Your partner, don't look at them as if they're outside of yourself. They're showing you something about yourself where separation is still existing. So that's really important to understand. Ascension is the process of releasing separation, releasing the illusion of separation, and again, coming back into that oneness with yourself and with God's source. All right, so let's see, where is the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and the union energy, or as they're calling it right now, the oneness energy. That's what they want it to be called right now, the oneness energy between you guys. Because again, the masculine, the feminine, they're aspects of yourself. I'm not going to go into that. I have that in other teachings, and we'll go into that on the twin flame truth video that I do. So make sure that you stay tuned for that, or feel free to go back and look at the playlist of other Sacred Union Energy updates. I think there was one recently when I went into that teaching, as well as the sacred channelings, but hang in there because I will have all of that in one condensed video. Okay. Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine. We're just getting one card for the Divine Masculine. Where's the Divine Masculine currently in their energy? Status quo. This is beautiful. I'm just going to start with the Divine Masculine here. What I'm actually hearing is breaking the cycle. Breaking the cycle of the status quo. Now, this is for the collective. Where the divine masculine energy is coming in to clear out the patriarchy, to clear out the old patterns, to clear out the old conditioning as it had been for centuries, millennia, for forever, for lifetimes. Clearing that out. The masculine collective is rising to become the divine masculine. And I had done a channeling for the divine masculine a couple of days ago. I think it was last week. Make sure that you check that out on Instagram, Facebook, or on the community posts here. It's a little bit further down. But make sure that you're checking that out, because that is what this was all about, that the divine masculine is rising as a collective. And what happens when the divine masculine rises, it clears out the distorted masculine energy, clears out the corrupted masculine energy, which is all about the status quo, which is power, corruption, greed. It's all that low vibrational, dense energy. As the divine masculine rises, They're clearing that out, clearing out the status quo, breaking the cycles. Now, the other message that's coming in, not only are they doing this on a collective level, but it's because they're doing this within themselves. So they're clearing out the old stagnant energy within themselves where they had been stuck, where they had been kept repeating loops, karmic loops. So in their own individual lives, they are breaking the cycle of the status quo, being, we've done this before, we're continuing to do this. This is them stepping off the merry-go-round. And what's amazing about this, I'll put a link in the description box. We had channeled that specific collective message just a couple of weeks ago, where you, Divine Feminine, were being called to step off the merry-go-round because you were going around and around and around, especially when it came to this connection. And so by you stepping off the merry-go-round, you're giving space for your Divine Masculine to do the same. And they're stepping off the merry-go-round of things that are keeping them stuck in a karmic loop as well. Closing out the cycle, beautiful. And they're pointing me to the two, and they're saying you've been doing this together. See, this is how you are working together. As you do this, Divine Feminine, you are actually leading the way. The Divine Masculine is the energy that leads the way in the physical plane with their action, with movement. You, Divine Feminine, do this energetically, which gives the Divine Masculine allowance and space to do this in the physical. So the more you are healing yourself energetically, the more you grant your Divine Masculine space and allowance to take action in the physical, but you're doing this together. This is beautiful. Take this for your own inner masculine and feminine as well, because that's your own inner union. As you're healing the feminine energy within you, you're able to take action and move forward in your own life. But when it comes to this connection, and it's different levels, so it's that ripple effect. So what they're showing me is it's almost like a tier. It's like as you come into union within yourself and heal the masculine and feminine polarities into oneness, what happens is that then ripples out into your physical connection, where you see that action being taken in your physical connection, your masculine taking action in their lives and for your connection as a whole. And you start to see that in the collective, because the collective is just, it's collective energy. It's a collection of energy. So as each person goes through their own inner union, the collective energy changes. Does that make sense? The collective, when we talk about the collective, it's just every individual soul raising their frequency. So as each individual soul comes into inner union, the collective energy changes. So that's really beautiful. We're working together. We're all working together. Divine Feminine. What do you have to say for the Divine Feminine? What's going on with the Divine Feminine in the current energy? I do feel like the sun is shining for the Divine Masculine. I do feel like they are having monumental mindset shifts. Mindset shifts, pattern shifts, new clarity, new understanding that's coming in that is transforming them from the inside out. I especially feel like they're healing their mind, which is helping to heal their heart, or helping their heart to even speak louder. This is beautiful energy. We've been talking about how the Divine Masculine is really healing their inner feminine energy, and that's what this is all about. As they heal their inner feminine energy, they're able to heal their inner masculine energy, because the feminine energy leads the way energetically. The feminine energy comes first. So as you heal your feminine energy, again, it grants the masculine permission, allowance, that grace and that space to heal their own inner energy. Beautiful. Paving the way. They are paving the path, especially this wave of Divine Masculines, paving the path, again, for the greater collective. This is really beautiful energy. I'm also getting, this Divine Masculine, this collective, this segment of Divine Masculines, this wave, who are really paving the way for those to come, for the greater collective, clearing the energy of the greater collective. They're really paving the way for this forward movement into New Earth. Beautiful energy here. All right, Divine Feminine here. Divine Feminine. We have optimism, and that is that Nine of Pentacles energy. I'm also getting Empress energy. So this is that sovereign, self-empowered, independent, balanced, grounded Divine Feminine. She is, we have the one consciousness here. She is one of consciousness. And we have the 2 to the 1, 2 becomes 1 is what I'm hearing. Recognizing that oneness within. And because she's in her wholeness, because she's in her self-empowerment, because she's in her self-mastery, her heart is just wide open. Look at how she's just extended her arms, and she's just saying to the world, here I am, world. Here I am, shining brightly. That yellow is all solar plexus energy. She is just standing in her self-mastery, standing in her self-confidence, standing in her oneness, connected to herself, connected to the universe, connected to God's source, connected to her divine masculine. It is all one, connected to the world. She is just standing in this higher consciousness, and that is giving her faith. And it's beyond faith. It is just a knowing and anchoring in. It is a belief in humanity. It is a faith in humanity. It is looking at things from the higher perspective and seeing that the light is shining. That the light is shining. So even if things feel challenging, even if there are obstacles, she's recognizing the light. She's recognizing the higher perspective. She's recognizing that everything is perfect. That everything is playing out as it's meant to for this shift into higher consciousness, for the collective. Beautiful. Okay, and let's get a card for the oneness energy. Okay, so for the oneness energy, we have behind a mask and new beginnings. And what I'm feeling is this is the shift. This is a collective shift. This is the shift that is happening internally as well. The masks are falling off, and what that means is embodiment. And what was I just talking about earlier before we started the reading? It is all about embodiment. And embodiment is about authenticity, being your true self, your soul self, without any masks, without any preconceived notions, without any fears of persecution or prosecution or somebody, people pleasing, without any concerns. Just being yourself in every given moment in the energy of love, in the energy of higher consciousness. That's what's happening here. And I love that there is a baby in this card, because that is just a portrayal of the innocence, the wonder, the natural state of our being, soul. We have this new beginning here. So this is a higher, this might actually be an Ascension Connections reading, because this is actually what this is all about. This is this is what Ascension relationships are all about. It's about the higher connection. It is about the higher purpose. So even though you're in a sacred partnership with somebody, and you talk about relationships and partnerships and coming together with that person, this is what it's for, because you and your person together, the love and the magnitude of that love, when you are stripping away all the soul sludge, when you're stripping away and releasing all of the toxicity and all of the pain patterns and all of the trauma, not just that you both hold or that you hold together, but that is held in the collective consciousness. You're stripping all of that away for this new beginning. This is that new earth energy. This is authenticity. This is what is behind the mask but soul. Removing the ego to become soul. This is beautiful, beautiful energy. This is what it is all for. And this is what oneness is all about, recognizing behind the mask. So even if you're out and about in the world and you are seeing somebody in almost like a tantrum, or, projecting or being triggered, look beyond the mask of the pain, of the trauma, of the conditioning, of the pattern. Look at the soul of them. That is what we are doing here. That's what brings about unity consciousness. To look beyond. That is what Ascension is all about. It's about looking beyond. Okay. Whew. Wow. I'm going to use this deck for Divine Masculine. Let's get a little bit more current energy for the Divine Masculine. A little bit higher than I expected to go. Higher perspective, but this is beautiful. Oh, what did I just do? Okay, there we go. Okay. Divine Masculine, please. What is the current energy of the Divine Masculine? Current energy for the Divine Masculine, please. Three of Pentacles. If you guys have been on this channel with me for a long time, you know the Three of Pentacles used to be my union card because it was the Trinity energy. Then they turned that into the, it was because they were making a triangle with God source at the top, masculine, feminine energy always connected in that triangle. Then they, as my understanding grew, they showed it to me in a little different way. They said it is actually the Three of Cups, because what's actually happening is you have that Trinity energy, you have the three separate, so-called separate entities, but there actually is no separation. So even with a triangle, they're separate points, but there is no separation. And so they showed it to me as the two cups pouring into the one, and what happens when two of the same liquids pour into the third liquid, well, it's just completely merged. There is no separation. You can't go back. It's like a drop in the ocean. You can't go back and try to pinpoint that separate drop of water. It's impossible. It is completely merged. That is what unity consciousness is all about. That's what this Three of Pentacles is reminding me of. That's what this energy is. It is that merging energy. And it's this masculine, what I'm hearing is this masculine is coming to conscious awareness of that Trinity energy between you, Divine Feminine, God's source, and themselves. This is that inner union energy. They're coming into conscious awareness of inner union within themselves and within your connection. Okay. Divine Masculine, please. Let's get a couple more cards for the Divine Masculine. The Eight of Cups. And the Five of Swords. I feel like the Five of Swords is what they are walking away from in the Eight of Cups. Because as I was continuing to shuffle, what I was getting, that's upside down, what I was getting was the reading from this weekend, where I was called to two messages where whoever this was for, remember when I said that calling back lost or forgotten aspects of yourself? That's what this Eight of Cups really feels like. The Eight of Cups traditionally is a walking away energy. But sometimes it can be a walking towards, like you're walking towards your Nine of Cups. You're walking towards your Ten of Cups, your happiness, your fulfillment, your happily ever after, your manifestations, your wishes come true. Eight of Cups can also be a card of self-discovery, and that's what I'm feeling here. You're walking away from past versions of yourself that were fragmented. Divine Masculine is clearing that energy, releasing the energy of the past version of themselves where they existed in separation within themselves, thus separation with their counterpart, separation with God. Remember, it's one and the same. So as they're healing something within themselves, they're healing something with you, Divine Feminine. So don't just take it as, oh, they're healing this. It's healing within the connection as well, just like as you heal yourself, it's healing something with your partner as well. It is that oneness energy. Now, you don't focus on your counterpart. You don't say, I'm healing this for our connection. I'm healing this for them. You focus on your own growth and your own healing. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, you're just creating separation within yourself. You focus on yourself, and your partner naturally merges with you. Your partner naturally meets you. As you're walking along your own sacred path, your own self-empowerment, your own sovereignty, your own independence, your own stability, your own security, your own inner masculine energy, your partner will naturally meet you and rise to meet you, converging in their own wholeness. So you're in your wholeness, your union, your partner coming into their wholeness and their union, you'll meet as one. You'll meet and walk together. That is what sacred partnership is all about, meeting and walking together. They're reminding me of the Rumi quote, walking each other home. That's what you're doing. Your home is with each other. You're walking each other home to each other on this journey, walking each other home to God. And along this journey, we can get triggered, and it brings up a lot of pain patterns, and that's what we're healing. We're remembering that we are not separate. We're remembering that home is the unity. It's the union. It's the oneness. And that we're never not in union. That separation is the illusion. And so as we go further and further along this journey, we're healing that separation energy, the illusion that we're never home, we're never not home with each other, that we're never not in union with each other, that we're never not at one with each other. So this divine masculine energy is healing separation within themselves and walking away from past versions of themselves that gave into that illusion separation. And that illusion separation, or that separation illusion, is pain, is trauma, is old patterns, old cycles, karma. As they clear all of that, they're clearing separation. And so what they're actually walking towards is they're calling back all those lost, abandoned, forgotten fragments of themselves. Anywhere where they betrayed themselves, anywhere where they were at war with themselves. This Five of Swords energy is my battle between the ego and the intuition. Anywhere where they were at war within themselves, creating separation within themselves, they're walking away from that energy. And so as they walk away from that energy, what are they walking towards? They're walking towards union. They're walking towards unity. They're walking towards oneness. They are embracing that energy by reuniting with aspects of themselves that they had forgotten, aspects, the soul aspects of themselves, their own truth, letting go of the mask and allowing themselves to really embody themselves, their heart, their intuition, their connection to themselves, their connection to God's source. They're really learning how to recognize their true authentic self and that they were living behind a mask. And so now what's happening is they're walking away from that old version of themselves that was living in the mask, that was living in the separation illusion or the illusion of separation, that was living in the ego or the mind. And now they're learning how to honor themselves in the heart space. Let's get one more card for the Divine Masculine. Current energy for the Divine Masculine. We have the Hanging Man and the Page of Wands. And what I love about this is that the Hanged Man is the shift in perspective. It is the surrender, the ultimate surrender to themselves. And what is that doing? That's creating a new beginning. That is having them take action. Again, we talked about action, movement forward earlier. This is creating a new beginning from a place of new perspective, from a place of surrender. Wow, I feel like I could just do a Divine Masculine reading, and we might do that later this week, so stay tuned. Because I feel like there's a lot for the Divine Masculine. Divine Feminine feels pretty settled. She feels pretty stable. She feels pretty grounded. It feels like she's just working through, just some releasing, some higher shifts in consciousness, but she feels pretty grounded in herself and in her own inner union, her own inner balance here. So Divine Feminine, let's find out what's going on for the Divine Feminine. What's going on for the Divine Feminine, please? Current energy for the Divine Feminine. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Wands. Ooh, there's a heavy energy, not heavy. There is a stark energy, a profound energy, that's the word, of anticipation, of forward movement, of action. She can feel this. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. So Divine Feminine, she's in a pretty good place. She knows that there are new beginnings here. For herself, for her connection, for the world. This is having firmly closed the door in the past. This New Year cycle, the 1-1 portal, really was a gateway of closure for Divine Feminine, where she really had been releasing over the past year, the past 6 months, really closing the door on old cycles, on an old phase of her journey, and really being launched into the new. We've been in a little bit of a transition period with the Divine Feminine as the old closes out and the new comes in, and we're at the tail beginning. How do you say this? The very beginning of the new, being anchored into the physical. So she has been manifesting, she has been planting the seeds, and she's been feeling the excitement. She's been feeling the anticipation of the new beginning. This is a new beginning for her financially, maybe business-wise or in her career. Maybe it's like a promotion in her career, in family dynamics, in friendships, socializing, in her own spiritual growth, and especially in her connection with her divine counterpart. especially in that connection. She has been feeling shifts and changes and transformation. She's been feeling the energy of this. And now we're anchoring this into the physical. Now it is time for that action. Again, divine feminine feels the way. She brings in the energy. And the divine masculine is the one that really anchors it into the physical with action. The anchoring in, the grounding is happening now. The action will be occurring over the next several weeks and the next several months. This year is going to be unlike any other, is what I just heard. This year is going to be unlike any other in a positive light, because of the growth and the transformation that you have undergone. It is going to be a very physical, grounded anchoring in. You're going to see forward movement. The evidence, what I'm hearing is the evidence that you have been longing for, that you have been looking for, because you're no longer needing that, because you're no longer expecting that, because you're no longer seeking that outside of yourself, because you're feeling fulfilled, balanced, and wholeness with yourself. That evidence is going to be in the physical plane, because it all happens inside yourself first. And you had to realize that. You had to anchor that inside yourself first in order for it to be projected into your physical world, because your physical world is just a projection of your internal world, especially when it comes to the mindset, your mind space, and what you're creating in your imagination, what you're creating in your mind space. Your physical world is that projection. What they're showing me is an actual, like the old school projection machines that we used to have in like classrooms. You had the machine and you had the screen, and you could actually see the light being projected onto the screen. I don't know if I'm dating myself, my God. I'm an 80s, 90s baby. So, an early 80s, 90s baby. So when I was in school, like we had everything from projectors to whiteboards. So I might be dating myself. But if you were in a classroom and you were say you were at the top front, or the front of the class, and the projector was right here and it was projecting onto the screen here. If you were to look to your left, then you would actually see the light streams, the beams of light that were the images. This is all science-minded, so somebody more science-minded than me can perhaps provide an explanation of how this works. But it's I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. You can see the projections. That's what it is. Somebody, please, who is more science-minded, explain the science behind light being projected onto a screen. I think that would make more sense. Anyway, that's what they're giving me. And Spirit's laughing at me right now, so I think they're having some fun at my expense. But I feel like that's what this is. That's your inner union being projected onto your physical world. That's what they're trying to explain. That your inner world, your outer world is just a projection of the energy that you hold within, because your outer world is energy too. It's energy in tangible material form. But this desk, these cards are still energy. When we're reading the cards as a tarot reader, we're not actually reading the cards. We're reading the energy. We're feeling the energy. That's not coming from the cards themselves. The cards are just a tool. It's the energy. Everything is energy. Everything is made up of energy. It's just so dense that it forms something solid, something hollow. The energy that you create within yourself projects onto your physical world. The union, the wholeness, the oneness that you feel and anchor in within yourself, you then see as evidence in your physical world. It's not the other way around. And I think too often we get caught up in looking at the evidence of our physical world and then projecting that onto our inner world. That's where we get caught up in separation. That's where we get caught up in the illusion. Divine feminine has been anchoring in wholeness within herself in her inner world, not needing anything in her outer world as evidence to show that, not needing anything in her external to fulfill her, to make her happy, to satisfy her, to fulfill her needs. She doesn't require anything because she knows that everything comes from herself and from God's source. Her connection to God's source is what fulfills her. Her connection to God's source is what provides. Her connection to God's source is what supports her. in every aspect. And so from that connection and grounding that connection inside of her, where she is unwavering, this optimism card is like that unwavering higher consciousness, that knowing. It's so far beyond faith. It's that knowing. What that's doing is it is manifesting in the physical world now because of that. And so she's feeling the anticipation, she's feeling the excitement, she knows that there's forward movement, and she might actually be starting to see the physical evidence, because this Ace of Pentacles is new beginning. This is something new. She can feel the new life, she can feel the new earth, she can feel the new energy, and it is starting to make itself known. That rainbow grid has come down, has anchored in, and now we are exploring it. Now we are living in it. Now we are embodying it. Beautiful energy. All right, let's get some of my own decks. This is my Ascension Connections deck. It's a two-part deck, so we're going to look first at what is the Divine Masculine healing of the Ascension journey, and then what's the raw and the real? What is triggering them on the Ascension journey? And then what are the healing? We'll do the same for the feminine. So what is triggering the Divine Masculine on the Ascension journey right now? What are they experiencing? I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. This kind of feels like the Divine Masculine is... I'm hearing this is that surrender. I'm trying to articulate the energy that I'm feeling. It's almost like this is a new world and a new life for the Divine Masculine as well. And they're almost like, I've never experienced it like this before. I've never experienced living like this before. I've never experienced this authenticity. I've never experienced this embodiment. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. In truth, though, they do. In truth, though, their soul is leading the way. They've just never operated from that standpoint before, from that energy before. They had always operated in the past from conditioning, from patterns, from trauma, from the mind space. Now they're working in tandem with their feminine energy, with their intuition, with their heart space, with God's source, I'm hearing. And so they're starting to ground this in, they're starting to anchor this in. And so there might be this sense of, and I'm almost laughing because I feel like they're almost laughing like I don't know what I'm doing. What am I actually doing? But this is not a lost energy. This is just like a giddy energy. Like, wow, I don't know how to explain this. This is, they're showing me an amusement park. And so it's like, once you get off the ride, where do I go? What do I do? I was on this merry-go-round. I was cycling for so long. What do I do? I have the whole world at my feet. I don't know what I'm doing. But this is a sense of excitement too. This is a sense of, I have the whole world at my feet. I have the whole amusement park to explore. I have so much joy and fun. I have a whole new life to live. That's what this feels like. That's this giddy energy that I'm kind of getting. It's like, I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but this isn't a heavy energy. This isn't them feeling lost. This isn't a dark night or a tower moment. This is new life that's coming in for the Divine Masculine. Wow, let's see what's healing for the Divine Masculine before we go to the feminine. What's healing for the Divine Masculine? What's healing for the Divine Masculine, please? One card. What's healing for the Divine Masculine? I know I'm surrounded by love. I am never alone. Yeah. And I know love is expanding within me, so they know. I love these two cards of knowing, these two cards of knowledge. They know and they understand love, the love that is within them. That's what they are surrendering to. That's that surrender energy. They're like, okay, I'm getting off the merry-go-round. I'm surrendering. I know I'm always supported. I know that I'm always loved. I know that I'm surrounded by all this joy. This is my new life. What am I supposed to do now? It's like this is their next step. They have to figure out what to do with it. They have to figure out how to create it even. So I feel like they're in this beautiful energy where they have shifted and are shifting and transforming, and they're almost like not so much dreaming, but planning. How can I create this new life? How can I bring in this new energy to my life? And it's because all the old energy fell away. It's because their old life, in essence, crumbled and fell away. A lot of these Divine Masculines, they had tower moments, were forced to make changes, or their whole world kind of got upturned. So they made changes in their physical life, and they know that there's a before and after, and they can't keep going as it was before. Divine Feminines, you might have experienced this as well with your own inner masculine. I've experienced that myself. So they're bringing me my own experience as a metaphor. You know, there was the before where I was in my house, I was living in my house the same old as I was before. But now it's like my world got turned upside down, and I decided to move and sell my house, and my counterpart and I went into separation. Even though we were still talking, we were physically parted. And so what's happening now is there's a new life. There's a new life that's being created. It's a reset button for your connection, a reset button for you. It's like the old way of doing things. We talked about this. I'll put a couple of links below in the description box if you're new here. That separation was needed, was necessary, because you were operating in an old version of yourself, and you were raising a consciousness and ascending higher and higher and higher. And so your old physical life could not sustain the new energy. And so your old physical life had to fall away. For me, it was selling my home and moving out of that home that had been mine for 12 years, that had been my own healing sanctuary. Now it's moving into somewhere new. And even with my counterpart, we had to move into separation because we were operating in the same cycle as we had before. And now there's more harmony that's coming into our connection, more love and understanding that's coming into our connection. Because of this, Divine Masculine is there as well. Sorry guys, I am very tired, so I'm tripping over my words. Divine Masculine is there as well. They experience this in their physical world. For a lot of them, it was more internal, where they had to release old patterns, old ways of viewing themselves, old toxic elements within themselves. But because of that, their physical world has been shifting as well. But it's only because they're ascending. It's only because they're transforming. It's only because they're moving into higher and higher consciousness within themselves. And their new consciousness cannot contain the old energy. I should say the old energy cannot live up to the frequency of the new consciousness. It's like, oh man, how do I explain this? It's like a car. If you have a 15-year-old car, but you're operating a brand new engine. Nope, that's not it. Okay, that's what it is. It's like the engine is the consciousness. You have a brand new engine, but all the other mechanics of the car is old. Maybe there's rust on the floorboards. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not a mechanic. Jeez, why are they bringing me all... They're having fun with me. My gosh. They're bringing me all these metaphors that I don't know. Usually they bring me stuff like movies or books or musicals, stuff that I know that I can relate to so that I can understand what they're trying to say, and now they're just having fun with me. So the metaphor is this. It's upgrade the car. Upgrade the car to match the engine. And that's what they're saying, because you're just operating in an old system. And that's it too. It's like, you know, the old operating systems, the old computers can't do the things that new computers do. And so it's almost like you're trying to do all the Photoshop and all the website building, coding and stuff that you do on like a Mac on an old like Tandy system. You can't do that. You can't code like you do now on an old operating system. That's consciousness. Consciousness is an operating system. And so you can't keep doing the old things in a new system. I can't believe they're dating me like this. I feel like they're just having fun with me now. Okay, we're gonna start wrapping this up. All right, you guys know what I'm saying. Someday I'll be able to clarify this. All right, Divine Feminine. What's triggering the Divine Feminine right now? Aside from communication issues, what's triggering the Divine Feminine? I'm still grieving my old life. Yeah. So she's, I said she's at the real beginning of this new energy, this new life. We are shifting out of that transition energy, that stagnant energy, which we had been in for quite a while, as we were releasing the old life. the old physical stuff, the old patterns, whatever it was. We were releasing the old life as we're upgrading to the new. So you might still be in this process of grieving the old. You might still be grieving, oh, I used to do this on the computer. I used to be able to do this on the computer. Well, it's a little bit different now because you're operating differently. And so it's okay to look back in nostalgia. It's okay to look back with a sense of reminiscence of this is what I used to do. But recognize that what you're moving into is actually better. It's actually a higher version of that. It's like upgrading your phone. It takes a little bit of getting used to. And so you might miss the old because it was comfortable. But move yourself out of that comfort zone. That comfort zone is just an ego trap. Move yourself out of, well, this is what I used to do. This was my old life. Because what you're actually moving into, because you're in higher consciousness, because you're raising vibrations and raising frequency, it's better. It's better. There's a meme a long, long time ago, and I know I've shared this in a Sacred Union Energy Update before, where it was a picture of Jesus and a little girl. And the little girl was holding out her teddy bear a little small teddy bear to Jesus, like fix this. It was broken, and I think it was torn apart. And she was like, please fix this. I'll try to find this and post this on Instagram because I shared this a long time ago as well. And Jesus was like, let it go. Let it go. What's coming in is better. And behind his back, there's a great big teddy bear. And once upon a time, that triggered me because I was like, well, she's attached to that teddy bear. She wants that teddy bear. That's her teddy bear. But that's the thing. We can't attach to things because that attachment is the ego. Once we allow ourselves to let go, we recognize that there is more to come in. And she doesn't have to let go of the teddy bear. She doesn't have to discard the teddy bear. It doesn't have to go into the dumpster right now. She can still love that teddy bear, but she can make room for something else to come in as well. That is the expanded heart. The heart opens up and makes room for more. So what Jesus was basically saying, Yeshua was saying was, don't hold so tightly to this one thing, to your old life, what you knew before, and the comfort that brings. Recognize that as you open up and expand, you can welcome in more. Doesn't mean that you have to put Teddy in the dump. All you have to do is welcome in the new, and then you can have this great big teddy bear and your teddy bear, and you can have it both. You can have it all. So there might still be some of this, but allow yourself to work through it. What's she healing now? What's she healing? What is Divine Feminine healing? What's Divine Feminine healing? What is Divine Feminine healing? I believe in my ability to create a new path. Yes. This is exactly what we're talking about. It takes a while to get there, but this is exactly what we're talking about. This is her letting go of the old and expanding to welcome in the new. This is her recognizing that, yes, I'm missing my old life, and I might reminisce, and I might feel nostalgic for it, but I know that what I'm creating is in a higher frequency, in a higher consciousness, is better, is a higher version, is a new path. This is her letting go of the comfort zone. Wow, okay, yeah. Sometimes it takes a while, you guys. I apologize. Sometimes it takes a while to get there. But everybody connects to these messages in different ways. So I like to articulate it in different ways because sometimes it'll hit home for somebody with the car analogy or the computer analogy. So bear with me. This is the way I channel. Okay. Let's get a final card for the Divine Masculine. Final card for the Divine Masculine, please. Final card for the Divine Masculine. Emotional freedom. And I love seeing this card for the Divine Masculine because this is them just opening up. This feels like feminine energy. So this feels like them opening up to their feminine energy, which is helping them, again, ascend in their masculine energy, to rise in their masculine energy, their divine masculine energy. And this is them just, opening up to their wisdom, opening up to their emotions, opening up to their heart center, and feeling the freedom. Remember when I said that the feminine energy allows and grants space for the masculine energy to grow and expand and to move forward? That is the freedom energy. So a lot of divine masculines feel pressure. And the pressure is coming from the feminine energy, the distorted feminine energy. Once the feminine releases the masculine, especially your external masculine, it grants them that freedom to expand, that freedom to grow, that freedom to evolve and rise. Final message for the divine feminine. Reparenting yourself, taking care of yourself, loving yourself. And what I'm actually getting is uniting all those aspects of yourself, uniting the inner child with the adult child. This is that wholeness. This is that union energy as well. A couple of days ago, I think it was last week, I talked about I channeled in the maiden, the maid, and the crone. And the message there was the maiden, the maid, and the crone are all archetypes of the divine feminine energy, the new divine feminine energy. But they're not separate aspects of the divine feminine. They're archetypes that you call on at any given moment. The same goes for the inner child and the parent. Sometimes you are meant to be the inner child. You are meant to indulge in the innocence and the wonder and the joy and the laughter and the fun of life. That's what I did this weekend at the hockey game. It was my own inner child just enjoying life and enjoying connection and having fun. And sometimes you are the parent, where you have to have those boundaries and that discipline and that accountability and that responsibility. And most times we are both of those things at once, because we don't replace one with the other. It's all that oneness, it's all that wholeness. And this is recognizing the wholeness and that oneness within yourself, that you are all. It's not replacing, it's not separate. This is you finally recognizing that you are all things all at once in every given moment. What is between you guys? What is at the bottom of the deck? But love. Beautiful energy. All right, you guys, we're going to end here. This was a lot. Do feel free to look back at the other Sacred Union energy updates on the channel, as well as all the daily energy draws in the past, and all of this sacred channelings over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections, all the teachings and all of these channelings that we've been bringing forth here as a reminder today. We have channeled in the past. This is just beautiful new energy that is coming in based off of those channelings. This is really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy. All right, guys, I'm sending you so much love, so much light, and we'll see you next time. Bye.